So good morning. It's awesome to be back in Austin and incredible to be here with Rosenthal and his talented team. It's really awesome what they've been doing here. I'm here to talk about my master's research and also about the funding platform Patron. But to begin, I'd like us to consider some of the reasons why journalism's so important. And I know I'm preaching to the converted here, but it's a good place for us to start. So journalism helps us to answer life's big questions, the kind of stuff that keeps us up at night. It informs us about things that matter, the issues of life and death. It gives us useful life tips so that we can grow as individuals. It brings communities together so that we can learn to understand each other. And it strengthens our democracy by helping us make informed decisions as citizens. So it is easy to be cynical, and it's easy to laugh about how bad things have become. But how did we get to this place? As you already know, the journalism community has been going through a period of unprecedented crisis. To begin, advertising revenues collapsed by more than 2/3 in the space of a decade. Then, readers began cancelling their print subscriptions by around 10 to 15% each year. When the revenues decreased, journalists were fired. And in the US, nearly half of journalists have lost their jobs since 2006. To make things even worse, online advertising has created perverse economic incentives for low-quality content. Journalists have been encouraged to maximize clicks and page views with populist stories, and unless we get readers to pay for news again, we're destroying the feedback loop that used to exist between quality and revenue. So, how can we fix journalism? Thankfully, people are still willing to pay for high-quality reporting about topics that matter. What we need to do is make it as easy as possible. So for my master's research, I asked consumers about their willingness to pay for journalism under a whole range of different business models. Quite surprisingly, it turned out more people are willing to make donations voluntarily than pay for content that is restricted and locked up behind paywalls. So you don't need to lock content up, you just need to prioritize quality and earn the respect of your audience. To turn this research into action, I founded a funding platform called Patron to make the donation process as easy as possible for both readers and the publishers. In New Zealand and Australia, we now have a community of more than 25 websites, and across these websites, there's a unique audience of about 800,000 visitors per month. Now, Patron embeds directly into the websites of our media partners through a line of code. And once it's integrated, it appears as a promotional banner along the top of each page, and you can also embed it as a payment button at the bottom of each article. When the button's clicked, the sign-up process is activated immediately with a small call to action message from the publisher. The supporter then chooses the amount and the frequency of their payment under a model that's completely pay what you want. You then enter the name, email, and credit card number. And finally, at the end of the process, after paying, you have the option of creating an account if you want to manage your payment preferences. And you get an overview of all the publishers that you support within the network, and you have full control over your payment preferences. Now, very recently, we started taking the donation data to see which stories are having the highest level of success, and we created this recommendation tool that in real time creates a positive feedback loop. And we're recreating that direct link between quality and revenue. And across our community of sites, we've got a diverse range of sites that include investigative journalism, community bloggers, traditional publishing companies, as well as indigenous media and others. So some insights from our launch. We've confirmed that there's a higher uptake than the industry averages for paywalls. The sites that launched about a year ago have already exceeded 1% of their unique audience becoming a supporter, and that's still growing each month. And the most successful ones have been as high as 5%. Half of the supporters are opting into recurring monthly revenue. And on top of that, the retention rates are extremely high. At the moment, only approximately 1.4% are cancelling each month. And on top of this, the monthly averages are high. So we've got $11 per month for recurring contributions and $49 for one-time contributions. And that's in New Zealand dollars, so you can see the conversion rate there. Other insights from our launch. So quality journalism does receive the highest level of support. There's a direct link between investigative reporting and large boosts in donations. And news organizations need to prioritize quality rather than clicks. So why do people become supporters? Oh, sorry. So what do people actually think about the platform itself? The biggest feedback that we get is that it's nice and easy. Why do people donate in the first place? This is a values-based transaction. It's based on the economics of generosity rather than a traditional transactional approach. And why not paywalls? It's because people want to support the underlying mission of journalism, and people don't actually want to see that content restricted from having maximum impact. And just re-emphasizing what the panel was talking about this morning. The absolute importance is the core mission of journalism. It's high-quality investigations and other types of reporting. So to close, I'd like us to think again. Why does journalism matter? And I'm going to use some examples of articles that in New Zealand have had the highest level of success through the Press Patron platform. So journalism highlights corruption, and it holds our politicians to account. It exposes abuses of power, and it gives a voice to the people that have been wronged and disempowered by others. It informs us about issues that matter, so that we can find solutions together. And it encourages compassion by showing us life from other perspectives. Most importantly, all of these things empower us to reach our full potential as a society and bring an end to injustices. If you'd like to learn more about my master's research or the Press Patron platform, it would be great to have a chat either during the conference or send me an email if you'd like to catch up directly. Thank you.